Good morning, everybody. Namaste. Welcome back to a live stream on this beautiful Monday morning in Grand Cayman Islands. It's a lovely day. Gabby's at work. She said it's raining there, but it's sunny here. As we get on the island, sometimes it can rain in one part of the island, sometimes it cannot. But I just want to welcome everybody to this live stream. Good to have everybody join us today. I see we got one person now. But welcome. It's going to be a great day, guys. Me more. Me more is watching. Hola, babe. I hear my water boiling. One second. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry. Just boiled some water to make some coffee, just brewing a little bit, so let that sit for a bit. But I want to say welcome again to a live stream Q&A. If you have any questions, let me know. We had a great day yesterday. Myself and Gabby took our fully licensed, insured vehicle to the other side of the island, which was incredible. I always recommend people who come here to always rent a car and to take like a day trip to the other side of the island. Go to East End, Bordentown, North Side, Run Point. It's a lot of fun. It's just beautiful to see the other side of the island. It's very different from the 7 Mile Beach kind of Georgetown area. It's very relaxed, laid back over there. You got a lot of nice things to do. I think one of the highlights of yesterday, I'm sure Gabby could agree if he was this, was we went to the botanical gardens, the Queen Elizabeth Botanical Gardens, which was very, very nice. They have there the very endangered species, the blue iguana, which we were able to see. And they're kind of protecting the species. They're breeding them, but we got to see them. Very cool. They're much bigger than the green iguanas that we get. Like, they're everywhere on the island, but the blue iguanas are quite rare. Their eyes are kind of red. They have, blue scaling, which hence blue iguana. They're very cool. We saw one when we first got in there, and it was like very big, kind of red-eyed, quite large too. And then we saw some baby ones in the cages, like getting ready. They're quite young, so they're trying to grow them up. And then later we saw one actually cross the pathway because there's a path that goes around the whole botanical gardens, so you get to walk around. And one person stopped us and said there's a blue iguana up on the trail, so we got to see one there, which was very cool. I really enjoyed that. It was I've always been meaning to go there. I really never had a chance because, first of all, the Queen Elizabeth Botanical Gardens is quite far away, so you need a car to go there. Yeah, so after we first drove, we first left obviously our place, went on the highway. Our first stop was Spots Beach. We got in the car, we walked to the pier. There was nobody there too, and because we got there like around kind of 10 o'clock ish, so the beach was empty. We saw like one chair there, so it was like completely empty. They have a lovely pier. Water out front is a little bit rough at times, so there's a strong current. So when you do go swimming, snorkeling, because there are turtles out there. Although I haven't seen one in a few years, but there are turtles out there. But always be careful because the current is quite strong. So always be careful. Don't swim too far out. But it's great snorkeling. You'll see turtles, not all the time, but it's pretty cool. I enjoyed quite a bit. So it's always a lot of fun. It's yeah. So after we packed up from Spots, we made our journey east. We where did we stop? We passed Bowden Town. We stopped at Lover's Wall, which is in East End. They have this kind of wall by the ocean where it says Lover's Wall. It's a very iconic place in Cayman. Very Instagrammable. A lot of pictures taken there. Then we drove a little further up. So right now we're in the ocean pretty much in East End almost. And then we also came to the blowholes, which is very cool. These like kind of volcanic rock, and there's some holes in the water from the waves, which is where we are. The blowholes, the seas are quite rough, and so there's massive spouts of water that shoot up. That was very cool, a lot of fun. After that, we drove back to the T junction where it takes us to North Side Run Point, and along the way we went to the botanical gardens, and we were there for maybe like an hour or so. Did quite a bit of walking. It was pretty quiet. I'm sure they still get a few people, but it's still pretty quiet there. But definitely worth a visit if you haven't gone. You should definitely go. It's a beautiful nature that they have like throughout the trail. You'll see signs on the different plant species they have here on island. So that's very cool. You get to see what's growing here. And we actually saw some Cayman parrots, which is pretty cool. They're very loud, buggers. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to share my video feed there. Yeah, the price of the admission was quite reasonable. It was 10 CI, or no, it was 5 CI plus another 5 for the admission to the green, the blue iguana habitat. They say they check your wristbands, but they don't really do that. Well, in our experience, they didn't. If they don't like, so you get this wristband, so you can enter the habitat for the blue iguanas. It's quite a big kind of enclosure. They have like pens for the bigger iguanas, which is very cool. So me and Gabby walked around there for maybe 15, 20 minutes or so, and they have different names for the different iguanas. Like one we saw his name Evan, which is pretty cool. Another one's like Alberto, and different names, different iguanas, and very cool habitat. Apparently they live for like 30 plus years or something like that, or even more. They also they lay their eggs once a year. The guy said in June, and it was we met a guy there named Dylan, who was one of the workers who look after the iguanas. And Ramanzano, what's up, buddy? He kind of explained the process, like how they feed them. They have to venture out and collect wild edibles, like vegetation for the iguanas, to feed them every day. So it's quite a bit of work, really, to do all that. And I'm not sure how many iguanas they have there, but it's quite a few. They have the smaller ones that they are kind of raising in the cages, and the bigger ones in the open pen area, which is very cool. Yeah, the guy there was very, very informative and was talking a lot about it. So thank you, Dylan. Nice guy. So go meet Dylan. Go meet Dylan. Yeah. So after that, we walked back. We went to this place like where they had some mangroves and kind of it seemed like a kind of a lake or a pond or so, but it looked like it dried up quite a bit because of the I guess they don't get as much rain over there maybe. So we walked there. There's some nice mangroves and coconut trees, and we walked back, and then we got in the car. We continued driving north to North Side. We got to North Side, and then we ate at one of my favorite restaurants, and Gabby's too, called Over the Edge Cafe in North Side. A lovely restaurant, very simple, like very local food, right on the water, overlooking this beautiful reef and shallow waters, where the colors of the water is like light blue and different shades of blue and green. It was very nice. We had a meal there. We had the conch steak, which was good. It was okay. It wasn't the best. But they had my favorite drink there is a rum punch. So I had a rum punch, which was really nice. We had a good meal there. Just a lovely view. We sat on the patio. It was actually quite busy. I guess for a Sunday, people were out and about. Like there was a few tables there, which was good. So it seemed like they were doing some good business for the day, because that restaurant has been suffering quite often, I think, through the past year or so, with lack of tourism. So I remember meeting the owner guy, is a French dude, and he said it's very quiet and they don't get a lot of business. So they rely on the vacation rentals in the nearby area, and obviously there's not as many vacation rentals. So, but it's a lovely place. Definitely recommend Over the Edge Cafe if you haven't gone before. Check it out. Tell them Evan sent you. It's a good spot. And from there, we drove from north side. So maybe it took us like half an hour, a little bit less, to get to Rum Point. And we drove to Kaibo, which is a restaurant area where we're going to get married actually, come December. Lovely restaurant. They have two restaurants. One upstairs is the higher end. The one below is the less expensive, more casual dining. But they have this very nice very nice. Where we're going to get married, they have this arch and these palm trees lining up. I'll try and show you a picture. I don't know if you can see that. So it's very nice. It's going to be a very nice wedding ceremony there. So we kind of walked around there, checked it out, and then we got back in the car and drove to their actual Rum Point spot where they have the restaurant and dining area. You can have drinks there, food there, and they have chairs for the guests. So we're able to sit there and enjoy lunch. It was not lunch. We had a mudslide there, which is a very good drink. I think it was invented in Rum Point. It's like a mudslide. It's like how I can compare it to is like an alcoholic milkshake. It's very good. It has like rum, Kahlua, Bailey's probably, and we had one of those. Drink's pretty expensive. It's like 20. It was like the bill was like 23 CI, so it's like 11.50 a drink. But yeah, we had a nap there by Rum Point and kind of had a lazy kind of afternoon. And then I think it was by like maybe 3 o'clock or 2:30 or 3 o'clock. We decided to get back in the car and head back to the 7 Mile Beach area because Rum Point you can swim, but the beach is not very nice, not very big. The water is quite shallow, so it's not the best swimming. And we went to Governor's Beach. One second, guys. I need to grab my coffee. All right, sorry. Need some coffee. Yeah, so then we drove back to town, which didn't really take us long, maybe less than an hour, that's for sure. It was very quick. Drove back. We went to Governor's Beach, which is right by the governor's house. And we had a lovely afternoon. It was actually very busy, probably because it was a Sunday, Mother's Day too. Oh, by the way, happy Mother's Day to all. Wishing my mom happy Mother's Day, my stepmom, love you both. So yeah, we were at the beach and we just relaxed and went in the water because Governor's Beach is a bigger beach and the more easy to get in the water. And we were in the water for we were in the water several times, but it was very nice. It was super sunny, super beautiful. So we had a good time. And we stayed there till the sunset, so about 6:30. So it was a full day outing, we left the house just after 9 o'clock, got back around 7 o'clock. So yeah, we were gone for 10 hours. It was very nice. Yeah, so it was a wonderful day. Got some good videos. So see how that goes. And yeah, just a wonderful day with my love, who is still watching, hopefully. So I love you, babe. I really enjoy the day with you, and hopefully vice versa for yourself. But yeah, next time, our next outing maybe West Bay somewhere, maybe Barker's Beach, or who knows. But it was finally nice to get the car and drive the car and have our freedom with that. So I was able to drive I drove the way there, not all the way there, maybe like a quarter or so. And then Gabby drove back. We good to get more practice, but we were driving past the lakeside where we used to live. And on the news, they the dump caught fire again. Like part of the dump caught fire. Apparently, it's all extinguished right now, but I can't believe it caught on fire again. Just super sad. Not good. They say they're going to transform it and do something with it, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I just can't believe it caught on fire again. And luckily, we left that place and don't have to deal with that that stuff, like all that rubbish there and the smell and the view of it is not very good. We're very happy here, so it's a great place to be. You know, no more dump, no more chaoticness of that place. You know, a lot of people live there, and all of them are nice people. Whereas here, the people we met are seem pretty nice, so I got no complaints here so far. You know, it's very close to the beach, good location. Now Gabby uses the car in the morning, so she drives to work, which is super quick. Also, we used the car yesterday. I wonder how many kilometers it to and from, but we didn't use very much gas. It was so far it seemed like a fairly fuel efficient vehicle that we have, so which is great. So yeah, it's a great outing. You know, convince a lot of the tourists to come back to venture eastwards. You know, the botanical gardens was amazing. It was so beautiful. Very nice place. We did see some few people, like locals, obviously, who were enjoying it too. We ran into a couple families, so it's very nice. Also, I did mention the Crystal Caves, which is another attraction, which is on the way to Rum Point. We have these like cave systems kind of nearby in the Rum Point area. Very beautiful. They have like fully excavated, maybe several caves. So I did that a few years ago now when my father was here. We did that, and it was a very cool experience. These caves, they don't go pretty deep, but you see bats inside the caves, and like there's like water dripping from the surface, and these stalactites and these underground lakes. And KY1345, bless up. What's up, sir? Welcome to live stream. Pleasure having you. Welcome to Mr. Cayman Vlogs live stream. I see you're probably coming from. You're from here, 345. The 345 area code. Great to have you. Always nice to meet a new person. So what was I saying about? Oh yeah, these caves. Yeah, I did it a few years ago. It was a wonderful experience. They do like a kind of a nature tour of the area, show different plants and Joseph Harbor. Hello, sir. It's a pleasure. Where are you calling us or talking to us from? But it's a pleasure having you, sir. If you guys haven't already, click the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any content. And if you have any questions, please type them in the chat below, and I'll do my best to answer them to the best of my ability. But welcome. Always nice meeting new people here on my live stream. If hopefully you're having a wonderful Amsterdam. Oh, cool. Amsterdam is a lovely city. I've been there once back 2015. It's a lovely city. Love Amsterdam, beautiful city. If you want to go back there, I'll take Abby there. It'll be lovely. I love Heineken. I did the Heineken experience tour there a few years ago. I was only in the city for maybe, I think it was like 2 days. So but I love this city to walk around. The canal is a very iconic city. I love to go back. Hopefully one of these days soon. It's just beautiful. Cheers, Yusuf. You should add me on Facebook. It's my full name. Add me on Facebook, buddy. And if I ever come to the city, I will contact you. But yeah, it's a lovely city. The Dutch are very nice people. Good cheese too. We also went to Edam, I think it was, which was outside of Amsterdam. And from there, we drove to Germany. I think we drove from Amsterdam to Berlin. We were in like a coach. But yeah, Europe is a beautiful city. We want to for our honeymoon, we want to go back, go to Europe and do some traveling, or maybe a month or more. We like to kind of start out in Southern Europe, but go like east, maybe to Italy. I'd love to go to the Netherlands again and Germany. Beautiful countries. So beautiful countries. Good cheese. Yeah, Southern Europe is very nice. I've never been to Spain. I've had the pleasure to go to Italy and France. But yeah, I've never been to Spain. Never been to the like Croatia or the former like Yugoslavia countries. But me and Gabby want to do a little bit of exploring ourselves in Europe. And Gabby always wanted to go to Switzerland. So Switzerland's definitely on our top list. I've been there once. It was beautiful. And yeah, we want to go to Spain where her sister's living. We want to go to Italy. I think we'll probably stop in France, obviously, and we'll see what else. But that'll be for next year after we get married. It'll be our lovely honeymoon. So. Yeah, Spain is, a lot of people from the UK travel to Spain to vacation because, I hear it's very cheap, but I'll be the judge of that. Soon we'll go. Yeah, Portugal. Yeah, I hear Portugal is very nice indeed. Yeah, I had a colleague of mine from the Ritz who was from Portugal. Actually, I had two colleagues, yeah. One from the Marriott, one from the Ritz. But yeah, it looks like a very, very nice country. Yeah, I like to go there too. Portugal, I hear, is very nice. So, how is Yusuf? How is Amsterdam right now with the COVID cases? Is it getting any better? What's the situation in the Netherlands? Yeah, because here, we're so lucky. We don't have to wear a mask in public or do any of that. The only places that you have to wear a mask, they say, are the public buses and the hospitals. But yeah, you can walk freely without a mask, which is fantastic. That's really good to hear. Yeah, we're getting, we both got our vaccines, both doses of the Pfizer, and we're waiting. Well, the island itself is not open to tourism yet, international tourism. So we're waiting till they say they want the population of the island to be 80% vaccinated. And right now we're in the 50s. So, or maybe mid 50s, high 50s. Apparently they had a good rollout of people getting vaccinated this weekend. So that's really good to hear. Yeah, our population is, I think, just under 60,000. It used to be a little bit higher, but we had a lot of people leave. A lot of expats, like workers here, went back home. When the borders were closing down back in like March and April 2020. So we had some people leave here, and then we still have a big population, but yeah, it's only like maybe like 60,000 or less. It's quite lower. But yeah, we've initially we had a lot of people get vaccinated like a couple months ago, and it's been going slowly and slowly. How's working in Cayman? Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, if you can get the job and the work permit, you're fine. But sometimes getting the work permit is it's a bit of a hassle, and it takes a lot of time. It says it takes to process 6 to 8 weeks, but you have to make sure you gather all the necessary documentation. Like you have to get like X-rays, medical check by a doctor, police background check. You have to fill out the paperwork for the work permit. So it takes a long time. And like if you're qualified to do the job, you most likely will get the permit, but you never know. Like immigration might deny it because obviously they'll try hire a local Caymanian person first over a foreigner. But if you're like, for instance, working in like the finance industry, most likely you can get your permit approved. If you work in the tourism sector like me, you always have the chance of getting your permit denied. But you just have to basically wait and see what immigration says. So, but yeah, working in Cayman is nice. You can make a decent living here. You have to be careful, like going out and all that. The minimum wage here is not very high. It's only, I think the minimum wage is like 6 CI per hour, which is like 7 something US. So the minimum wage definitely needs to go up. Like, it's just crazy. Like, for instance, the minimum wage back in Canada, I think in Ontario, where I'm from, in Toronto, is like 14 Canadian, which is like 10 CI, which is insane. Like, the minimum wage needs to increase here at least to 10 CI because it's cost of living here is cost of living. If you see my other videos, like we kind of explained about grocery shopping and everything, that it's very expensive. So yeah, the minimum wage is very low here, Youssef. It's not very good. What's the minimum wage in Holland? Very curious to hear out. But yeah, it's even when I first came here, they raised the minimum wage from 5 CI to 6 CI, and that's just like, it's like super low. It's like, yeah, like even with like a family, around 10 euros. So yes, I think the euro in the CI, like the Cayman Islands, is like 1-to-1 pretty much. Or the euros might be slightly more higher up in value, but yeah, it's pretty much like 10 CI, 10 euros. Yeah, it's like even for like say you have like a family of 4 and like you have 2 kids, like having children in this island is super expensive, going to school, and yeah, they need to do something about the cost of living here because rentals are super expensive. Like I would have thought with like, our borders being shut and people leaving, the rentals would be slightly cheaper, but I think some have gone up actually. So it's really unfortunate. Like, for instance, I'll tell you a story. When I first got here, I came here October 28th of 2015. The first place I rented was a 1-bedroom apartment in Lakeside where we previously lived. So I was paying for 1 bedroom, 1,000 CI, and then plus the cost of the utilities and internet. So it was coming out to maybe like 1150, maybe a little bit less, depending on the month and all that. And now you can find a 1 bedroom for probably 1,400. If you're lucky, maybe 1,300 or even higher, like 1,600. It's just insane. Like, cost of living here is like just gone skyrocketed, and they left the wages at 6 CI, and they expect people to make a living of that. And when you go to the grocery store, you buy 5 or 6 items, you end up spending like you can easily spend like 100 CI, $100 in a very short amount of time. It's pretty crazy, guys. But yeah, hopefully we have a new government in office. We had an election, like I guess it was a month ago now or so. So we have a new government. Hopefully, hopefully they can bring about a good change to the island. I think they really need to address the cost of living here. It's pretty high, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, good things happen here. Change is needed, I guess. And we'll see for the future, what happens here. Will we open our borders soon or not? Because the tourism industry here is doing okay, I guess. We're doing a lot better, but people are not making enough money to support themselves. Like the hotels, I think the hotels are doing okay. Like yesterday, for instance, we were on the beach and we're seeing how many people were out and about, and even at the yeah, that's very true, Yusuf. Like for instance, what do you do for work? If I ask, like, what do you do for work? But yeah, I agree. It definitely depends on your experience and degrees. Yeah, if you have more experience in a field like in tourism, and experience definitely helps. Like for instance, if you are applying to a job and you don't have any experience, you won't get the job. That's what happened to Gabby a few years ago, which was very sad. So yeah, if you have experience, you have knowledge about the job, you most likely will get the job, but it also depends, first of all, if the Canadians applied. If the Canadians applied and they have the experience, we'll give the job to him or her. So it's it's quite an experience. I think we have I saw in the news we have 20,000 work permit holders here on island. So it's quite a few. It's like almost half the population. So, and I think for maybe they haven't done this yet, but I think they've done this in Turks and Caicos, which is another British overseas territory. They'll probably require work permit holders to require the vaccine. They'll probably ask you to get vaccinated in order to work here, so they'll need like proof of vaccination, which I think is inevitable. I think it's good. You need to be, if you want to travel, you probably need to be vaccinated. So and there's still a lot of people here on the island and definitely elsewhere in the world who don't want to take the vaccine because they're scared and they don't believe in it. And maybe there's like a conspiracy theory that they're going to track us with this vaccine or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of folks here and elsewhere who are very hesitant about getting the vaccine. And but you've seen it's very safe, effective to a certain extent. So if that's what you need to take to make life normal again and create a living, might as well do it. So, but of course, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. No one's going to force anyone to do anything, because if you force someone to do that, that's not good. So not right. So, yeah, will we have like a vaccine passport in the future? It's a very good question. I'm not really sure. We'll have to wait and see, as they say. So, what do you do for work? Oh, you're in sales. Okay. Yeah. So if you're in sales, you could probably easily work at a hotel here if you have a good amount of experience and background. Like, do you work for a store, or you work by yourself? Like, yeah, because sales, I think I'm in sales too. I sell the hotel. I sell the hotel every day. Everybody's in sales, I guess you could say. You're always like doing free marketing for restaurants or like taking pictures of places, but that's very cool. I like sales. Like, you work in a hotel store. I really want to go to Amsterdam soon. Take Gabby there. Can be fun, babe. I really hope. I saw in my country that there was a shooting at Vancouver International Airport, which is so shocking. You never hear that ever. Like shooting at the airport. It's very scary. My mom just they have a place in the desert in Palm Springs, so they don't live there right now. But yeah, it's they say it was like a gang related shooting, which is very you don't see that very often. So very scary. I saw that. I'm not sure anyone here is in the cryptocurrencies, but Ethereum broke the $4,000 mark, which is pretty exciting. Done quite well the past few years. It's very interesting to watch. Cryptocurrency is definitely, I think, here to stay. Hopefully, a lot of people get behind it. It's a lot more governments and companies are backing behind like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and also developing their own cryptocurrencies too, because in the end, people will be using less cash and more transferable means of payments. You speak 5 languages? That's incredible. What languages do you speak? MF. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome to live stream. Thank you for joining. Always a pleasure meeting new people. Where are you from, MF? If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. Give us a thumbs up on this video. I'd appreciate it a lot. Welcome again to live stream. If you have any questions, if you want to just chat, please say something in the live chat. It's always a pleasure meeting new people. So back to Yusuf. How many languages do you speak? That's fascinating. I wish I spoke, just English. I've been trying to learn Spanish, but it's not going the best. I need to learn it more and practice it more with Gabby. So, like in my country, we're supposed to be a bilingual nation. Our official languages are French and English, but it's most likely now it's like English and Chinese, because like especially in Vancouver, where I grew up, there's a lot of Chinese, and you see some signs in Chinese, not even English. So they say we're bilingual, but I never took French in high school, which I should have. I wish I did. It was very too bad. So MF, where are you from, mate? Always nice meeting new folks here on live stream. Pleasure is mine. Making good time too. 45 minutes, not too bad. It's like we're almost like kind of partway through May, and in June is the official start of hurricane season here in the Cayman Islands and the rest of the Caribbean. Gabby showed me that's going to be more of an more active hurricane season than last year. So we really got to watch and hopefully this island doesn't get affected too much from like last year. Last year wasn't too bad. Like there were some storms that were close to us. There were uh, some close occurrences where a storm just passed us. So they say it's going to be a above active season, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, it's not the case. That's the only thing living in the Caribbean is you have the hurricanes in the summertime, in the fall time. It seems that most of the hurricanes come in the fall time. Um, yeah, they start like they form off the west coast of Africa and go west, and then they'll hit like either the Lesser Antilles, and then most of them have a similar like trajectory. They follow the islands and go a little bit north and up the U.S. coast, east coast, and then they will hit Canada a little bit, but not as heavy, like just mostly rain and wind. Sometimes you get a storm that develops as like a depression and eventually forms into a storm, which we had here on several occasions, where some storms south of us developed in the ocean, and then that's how like two hurricanes hit Central America. It was like 1 week later, two. And I'm not sure if you've seen the devastation that caused by that, but we've seen some videos of like just terrible mudslides and people's homes getting wiped out instantly, and all the flooding in like Honduras, where Gabby's from, Nicaragua, Guatemala, El Salvador. A lot of the countries in Central America got affected by that. So it's crazy, crazy. So yeah, hopefully this year is not as bad. Um, I'm a little concerned because in the back we have some trees and stuff. So hopefully maybe they'll prune them a little bit. Um, but yeah, we'll see how this year goes with regards to the hurricane. At least we have a car now, so we can get to and from instead of relying on the public transport and the buses. Because who wants to deal with that? If you ever come here, I'd recommend to get a car. I was against getting a car for a long time, but now it's super nice to have a car and just to go at your own pace. And if you want to go to the grocery store, you got somewhere to transport it instead of like walking with the bags or taking a bus with like two grocery bags. It's just like not nice. It's easy to put in the back seats. You're relaxed. No problem, Yusuf. All good, man. Yeah, so I was curious, what languages do you speak? I wish I knew 5 languages. That's crazy, man. Young boss, Wagwan. Welcome, my brethren. Morning, sir. My friend from St. Lucia. Welcome, Milan. My friend from he's on island, good friend of mine. Wow. Yeah, because your name Yusuf sounds Arabic, right? So like are your parents originally from somewhere in the Arab world and they immigrated to Holland? Ah, Deutsch. Um, Haben Sie einen guten Tag. I think I say have a wonderful day. Yeah, my good friend from South Africa is my good friend is from South Africa. You know, they speak Afrikaans there, which is like a Dutch language. It's similar to Dutch. Um, Although he says like he can understand Dutch, it sounds like the different dialect is a little bit confusing sometimes, but it's very similar languages because that's how Afrikaans started. Was the Dutch people came from Netherlands to South Africa and developed this different kind of Dutch language. Thanks, Yusuf, man. It's a pleasure. Yeah, add me on Facebook, man. Appreciate the contact. Always nice meeting the people. Okay, man. It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for joining the live stream. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up too. Appreciate it a lot. But thank you for joining, Yusuf, and we will see you in the next live stream, next video. MF, I want to come to Cayman. When will your border reopen? MF, I'm happy you want to come to Cayman, but if you want to come as a tourist, you have to wait a little bit longer as our borders are still closed to international tourism. Technically, you can still come, but you have to quarantine for 14 days or 10 days if you're vaccinated, 14 days if you're not vaccinated. So yeah, unfortunately, you will have to wait until our borders reopen. What I'm hoping is that they will reduce the quarantine time from 10 days to 5 days for vaccinated travelers. So if they can drop that 10 to 5 day requirement to quarantine, that will probably bring more tourism back than already is happening right now. So yeah, unfortunately, coming here is a bit of a obstacle. Like there are a few islands around us, like Aruba and Turks and Caicos, and some other islands in the Eastern Caribbean that are open to tourism. But sadly, we are not. The government's being very precautious, which I understand completely. But at the same time, I wish they would, try to be more proactive. And there's a way to reopen safely and effectively, and they're just not doing that quite yet. They're being patient and waiting. They're being very patient and waiting. And yeah, I'm not sure when it will happen. I think at this rate, maybe in like August, July, but who knows? It really depends on is how quickly our population can get from the right now. I think we're at the 55% or maybe a little bit higher percent vaccinated of our population. We want to reach at least 80% vaccinated for our borders to reopen. So it just really depends how many people go get their vaccine. So yeah, it's been in the air, but MF, where are you from? But yeah, unfortunately, the borders are not going to be open for a while, or yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So hopefully, the next few. Smash a like. Thank you. Thank you, young boss. Smash the like button. Oh, you're from London. Okay. My father is from England originally. He's from Essex. Always a pleasure meeting a fellow Londoner. London is a lovely city. I was there back in 2015. My dad still has some family in the Essex area, Buckus Hill, if you're familiar with that area. Um, but UK is my UK is my ancestral home. So yeah, UK is my ancestral home. So I want to go back there to travel. I have only been in the London area. I went to Oxford for a day once, and then came back to Stansted. But I really want to go and sorry, I really want to go and journey up to Wales, where my last name is a town, because my last name is Pyle, Pyle, and there's a town in Wales called Pyle. So I want to visit that place, and I love to go to Scotland, go to Glasgow, maybe Edinburgh, maybe Stirling. Love to go to Yorkshire. Love to go to maybe Newcastle and see the Tyne. Love to go all around the country that I can proudly represent. So, but yeah, thank you, Emma, for watching, man. I appreciate you watching. How is London right now in terms of COVID? Is there less restrictions, I heard? How much is your average weekly food shopping? That's a very good question. I would say on the top of our head, like in a week, I would say maybe 100 CI. So that's like 120 US, maybe a little bit lower. Yeah, generally, I think what we spend, like, I forget how often we go food shopping. Like, I think definitely, like, sometimes what we do is like we try to at least go to like a big shopping haul, spend maybe like 150 CI, maybe a little bit less. Sometimes if we need something, we'll buy it kind of every day. We'll see what runs out. But yeah, I would say on an average, I would say on an average, maybe like 100 CI a week, a little bit less. But yeah, it depends on like what you consume. Because yeah, if you see my other videos on grocery shopping, like at Kirk's and Foster's and Cost You Less, it's pretty expensive. Like if you love eating like meat, like steak and stuff, you can spend quite a bit of money. But if you're diligent and you can survive on like $100 a week, I would say. There's multiple places where you can grocery shop. My fiance works at Kirk Market, so we go there to grocery shop. So it's not too bad there. It's very good quality, but it's a little bit high expense wise. So, but if you want to go shopping, like at Foster's, which have multiple locations, it's maybe slightly cheaper. Yeah, we kind of disagree, but I think it's slightly cheaper. The quality is not as good, but you can get by. We have Cost You Less, which is like kind of our version of Costco. It is a nice, it's a big kind of warehouse. They sell like clothes, furniture, groceries, everything. So everything they sell there. So it depends on what you eat. If you're vegetarian, if you have a lot of dietary restrictions, you're probably going to pay a little bit more. But if you're not very picky and you can consume pretty much anything, it's not too bad. But definitely grocery shopping here is super expensive compared to our homes, like compared to Canada. It's compared to Honduras, it's like insane. Like it's a lot cheaper in Honduras, and here it's just insane. I'm sure Gabby can tell you like what we buy these beans that we love. They're kind of like refried beans. We found them in Cost You Less for like, I think it was like 4 CI, and other at Kirk's, they sell them the same package for like 7 CI. So that's $3 more. It's quite a difference, but they sell them back home for so much more cheaper. So I hope that answers your question, MF. Yeah, sum it up. Your average weekly food shopping, like for us, I would say maybe 100 CI, maybe even less actually. So, but if you haven't seen our like our Foster's shopping video or Kirk's, please do check it out, and hopefully you find those videos helpful. So, have you ever stayed here, MF, on vacation? Have you worked here or have family that works here? Yeah, good bank. That's yeah. That we have several banking options here on the island. The bank that I like the most is Butterfield, which is an international bank. Like they have offices in Bermuda, I think Turks and Caicos, Switzerland, and Guernsey, I believe. Um, we also have Cayman National, which is a local bank as well. It's also a good bank too. You have Scotiabank, which I don't really like very much. Which and then you also have CIBC First Caribbean, which is a good bank too. You also have RBC, which is the Royal Bank of Canada. They have a bank here. So let's see. Butterfield, Cayman National, CIBC First Caribbean, Scotiabank, and RBC. But yeah, I'd recommend Butterfield. It's a good bank. They have good options for investing. They have good. They have a good the debit Mastercard, which I use. It's very good. You can use it worldwide. You can transfer money easily to and from. If you're transferring money back home, you want to transfer money here. It's very easy. So yeah, I recommend Butterfield. It's a good bank. Um, it's a bank that I use mostly I use right now. Even though I still have an account with Scotia, but Scotia, I don't like Scotiabank anymore. They have really bad customer service, and I also lost. We lost 50 CI once by depositing cash into ATM once, and we had like a kind of an argument with them, and they're saying, "Oh, you only deposit this amount." I was like, "No, we have the receipt," and blah blah blah. But we lost 50 CI, and that's like 70 US, and that really pissed me off. And yeah, they're not a very good bank, so definitely recommend going to Butterfield. So, all right, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap up this live stream. It's been a pleasure chatting with you all. If you have any questions, further questions, you can always contact me on Facebook or comment on the videos. For everybody who hasn't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. And hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I answer your questions hopefully I answer your questions. And if you have any further questions, concerns, if you want to reach out, please do. You can always reach me out on Facebook if you want, or my email. But have a wonderful Monday, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you very soon in the next vlog or live stream. All right, guys, take care. Ciao for now, and we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.